Hello, Patriots. Kevin Kyle here. It is Saturday, and you know, everything is starting to happen just as we believed it possibly would. And it's funny because there's been so many people out there just back and forth, but have never really stayed true to their message, their direction, and their guidance to help you guys be that eye in the storm that was coming, and to really put your firm base in so that you could be that foundation for that lighthouse for your circle of influence. And it's now the fall, and in the fall there will be the fall. It's already started, and it has been something that has been leading up to this point for some time now. And yes, a lot of people have gotten discouraged, and they've been kind of feeling like they've just been strung along, but it's not. It's exactly like we said. The white hats have been specifically manufacturing consent of the governed on purpose for what needs and has to be done, period. And in doing so, this is what's causing people to begin to see the actual truth, as well as demanding for accountability, demanding for justice, demanding on safety and security. All of those things in which have been undermined on purpose by the crazy, unhinged, deep state manipulation. Because the people that are out there that are doing these things, they are so misled and so misguided that they, in their beliefs, think that they are doing the right thing, but they have been so manipulated and so hypnotized by the radicalization of this indoctrination that they have been going through ever since they were young. And that is what has to be broken. It has to go through this process. We all have to go through this process. And in doing so, God has called you to be that witness, to be that light, that lighthouse, to bring the people that are around you into safe harbor. Yes, you have a very, very important role. Even if you don't know it, that's what you have been called to do, is to be stable and to be at peace and to be calm and to be leading and guiding people into the truth of the events that are taking place. You've been called. You've been going through all of these things for a purpose, to prepare yourself for a time such as this, which is, by the way, the greatest time in all of history outside of Christ walking on this planet. Period. And it ties into that. And the Great Awakening is about your spiritual awakening and coming to a relationship with your Father and coming to peace with that in your heart, and that none of this has any control over you at all. But they want you to be in fear. They want you to be in doubt and unbelief and disbelief. But that is being broken. That entire narrative is being destroyed. And you're a part of that. It is an absolute incredible thing to be a part of the plan of God, and you are 100%. Everyone is called to different things. Some, like, be able to be out in front. Others are to be there in support roles. Others are to be there in roles of just support in manners of holding their frequency and praying and being in 100% belief and not walking in fear, not walking in doubt, and allowing their frequency to radiate their presence and anchor that into the timeline in which we're entering into and separating from the old. And that's going to get further and further apart. They're going to continue to keep dividing. And it's going to be so much more obvious that you and others are on a completely different path, a completely different train. But that's okay, because everyone has their own free will. It doesn't make them any lesser than you. It doesn't make you any more than them. It just means that their journey is different than your journey. My journey is different than my wife's journey, and so on and so forth. And they're never, ever going to be the same. They may be similar, but they are not the same. It is an individual journey that we are doing collectively. And it is all part of each one of ours journey together, as well as God's plan that will come to pass. Not could be, not maybe, it is already done. Because we live in a linear time, we have to go down this path until it actually manifests into our reality. But it is already done. It has already happened. And in that, you can walk in that assurance and knowing that God cannot tell a lie, because what he says becomes. It's done. All of it. We are going through the motions of bringing it to pass. That is it. That is it. So you can stand in the faith of the word of what God is doing, that it is done. When God tells you something specifically, it may not be happened in your reality right then, but what he has done is he has gone back into your present, the now, and giving you a piece of information about something that is down the road in your path that you will come in contact with at some point. He's coming to this part of the timeline, your now, which in God's reality, all past, present, future are all simultaneously at the same time. There is no concept of linear time in that reality. It's to encourage you. It is to give you direction. It is to lift you up and support you in the difficulties that you may be going through right now, so that you can endure. Because you will endure. God has this. So now we're seeing the first indictment, Comey. And that is just the beginning, as I've told you in the past, and I told you before it came out that it was coming, and that the last week of September was when it was going to start. Oh, whoop, where are we at? Oh, that's exactly where we're at right now. And that is going to continue. It is going to be an acceleration through the fall. Comey, Brennan, Clapper, all Obama, Hillary, all of them are going down. But I also told you that you look at this as that it's starting, but it's starting with a criminal indictment that is for lying to Congress and could possibly lead to other indictments on top of that, but that haven't come out yet. But we also know that there is something called RICO that is a part of this as well. And that when it gets into the treason aspect of this, which it will, and I've said this in the past already, that the criminal system that we have for that right now that is going through that process and with the grand juries are not there in that RICO for the treason aspect of it. The military is going to step in and actually take up these cases to put them into military tribunals. And they're all are going to fall into that same category under RICO in the military tribunals for crimes against humanity, as well as sedition, treason, and they're going to be executed. Now we're talking about publicly about the public executions coming back, and that they just made a proclamation that the federal government can use executions again. Oh, what a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. We've been telling you this, and that it's for you to get prepared. So there's so much going on right now that has never happened before in our history. The Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, calling in all of the general and flag officers around the world. We're talking between 800 and 1,000 to Quantico, the farm. They're being called back onto American soil. There's a specific purpose behind it, and it is to restore the republic as it is, because the flag officers are not what you think they are and how they are a part of the corporate construct within the way it's been set up. And there may be military guys out there, bitch, plane, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the deal is that neither do you. Because if you did, you would understand what's actually truly taking place right now, and that has never happened ever, to be all called in back onto American soil. And for what purpose? When we live in a digital age, that if we needed to have a secure video conference meeting with that many people, it could actually be more feasible and better coordinated in that manner. But it's not happening that way, is it? No. It is a in-person situation that they must do to come back under the republic and to put things in order. And in doing so, a lot of them, I guarantee it, are going to be exposed to exactly what's going on, what is being expected of what is to come, and how we move forward, period. And so with all these people out there making all these predictions about, oh, it's about, we're about to go to war and we're about to do, you have absolute zero understanding of why they're being called into an in-person meeting. They're being summoned. Summoned, isn't that a legal reference for being summoned into a court or judicial type situation? Sure is. It's all part of the plan, people. That was why it was changed from the Department of Defense to the Department of War, as it was in the beginning. It's all happening. And it's not based upon whether you believe any of this or not, or you have any understanding of it or not, because it is unfolding as it is supposed to, and nothing can stop what is coming. And so I want to ask you this, the other parts of this. We have the FBI. We're talking about the White Hat Trump administrated FBI, talking about the evidence that they have released, not the news, not crazy people out there on the internet, but the actual story that was released by the FBI, Trump's FBI, on the assassination of Charlie Kirk. There is not one piece of that evidential trail that is truthful. Every part of it is a lie. So ask yourself this question: why? Why would the Trump FBI paint a completely false narrative lie to not only the American people, but the world? Because the world is watching. Because something is going to unfold because of this that is going to shock everyone. It is also going to open the door for the individuals that have been in WITSEC. Believe me or not believe me, I do not care. We are all moving forward. And this is all being exposed. And it is happening. What you can trust in is your heart and the Spirit of God leading you into what is true and what is not true. That is the only thing that is true. Everything else has the potentiality of being a lie or misleading, but not the Spirit of God. Using your own discernment to stop letting people lead you around by the nose. Christ told us the Spirit of God lives and dwells in you. The kingdom of God is already here. It is all around us. Always has been. And God is inside of you. He has been waiting, and He wants that relationship with you so that your discernment can lead you into all truths. And that is exactly the truth. Not what I say, not what Joe says, not what anybody says, but what the Spirit of God leads you and reveals to you is what is truth. And it is there for all of you. It is not what someone else tells you or gives you their opinion about. They can help you, they can lead you, they can guide you, but ultimately it is your discernment and your truth that you must stand on. And if you don't have that relationship for you to be able to have your own truth, how can you stand on something that is someone else's truth that you've tried to adopt? You must have your own truth. And the only way you get your own truth is coming into that relationship and developing what you know to be true. The Spirit of God is all around you. And you can trust that where you are at this very minute is exactly where you're supposed to be. Good, bad, or indifferent. And that's not the purpose. The purpose is for what God's getting out of it for you and for everything else for the greater good. There's purpose in absolutely everything. And the one thing you can trust is God. He has this in you. No ifs, ands, or buts. So truth is being revealed. Justice is coming. It has already begun. And in doing so, the chaos and the false flags are about to become rampant. And the only way you don't fall victim to the disinformation and the things that are being presented to you either by social media, by the military, government, whoever, is the discernment that God has for you. I have warned that this muscle of discernment needed to be exercised and prepared for, and here we are. It is that time. And it is not to have any sense of fear whatsoever. It is to be at peace and to be at calm in all of it. Because that is what changes things. It's in you. It's on you. It's all around you. You went through everything that you've been through to get to where you're at right now. And so have I. And I would not have changed any of it because it makes you who you are. And that means that you're special. And I don't mean special in another way that somebody else isn't, but you're special. We all are on our own individuality and what we've all had to go through, endure, and develop in our own journey, in our own walk. makes you who you are. Nobody else is like you. No one else has been through exactly what you've been through. And in collective, God is experiencing it all simultaneously for His glory and His purpose. Shit is hitting the fan, people, and it has only begun. Keep your wits about you. Keep yourself calm and not caught up in anything so you don't run around like a chicken with its head cut off, because that was never your purpose. That's the purpose of the crazies that are waking up and realizing all hell in a handbasket has just happened. And they are going to throw everything at us, including the kitchen sink. But the end is worth everything we go through. Always remember that. Walk in love and understand that someone else is going through something that you may have no idea what they're actually experiencing and going through. So treat them with love and compassion. Even if they're an ass to you, it's what they're going through. It has nothing to do with you. Go back to the 4 agreements. But we are at that time. Don't get caught up in it. Walk in love. And God's got this. He's also got you. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Captain Call out.